Hi, Mr. Lindstrom. This is my 1.1 redo video. Question 1 asks to use sketch notes to define scarcity and use that definition to fully explain why economics is sometimes called the study of choices. Scarcity means we don't have enough resources to satisfy all of our wants. So if all these 3 people want the whole pizza to themselves, there isn't enough pizza for everyone. That's scarcity. Because resources are limited, we must choose. This person has to choose between a pizza or a movie ticket, and they can only choose one. That's when opportunity cost comes in. It's the next best thing that you give up. So if they choose pizza, the movie is the opportunity cost. So, scarcity forces choices, and every choice has a cost. That's what economics is, the study of how people make choices because of scarcity. Question 2 is asking to explain the 4 factors of production and the role an entrepreneur plays. The first factor of production is land. Land supplies the natural resources needed to make goods and services. For example, trees goes to wood for furniture, water goes to farming, minerals go to phones and cars, etc. Without land, there are no raw materials to start production. The second factor of production is labor. Labor uses skills and effort to turn resources into products. For example, builders construct houses, teachers educate students, factory workers assemble products, etc. Without labor, nothing gets produced because no one is doing work. The third factor of production is capital. Capital provides the tools, machinery, and equipment that help produce goods and services. For example, machines speed up production, computers help businesses operate, trucks transport goods, and factories provide a workspace. Without capital, production would be slower and less efficient. Lastly, there's entrepreneur. The role an entrepreneur plays is very important, because without the entrepreneur, the other 3 factors wouldn't be organized into a working business. The entrepreneur comes up with business ideas, combines land, labor, capital, makes decisions, takes financial risks, and aims to make profit. For question 3, it asks to show an example of how opportunity cost is used in real life. This person has to make the decision of going to college or getting a job. Each one has its own set of benefits and costs to it. The opportunity cost for going to college is the lost wages from a job that you could have had. The opportunity cost for getting a job is the education and higher future income you could have had. The person has to make a rational decision and compare the opportunity cost before they decide. Next, it asks to explain the difference between explicit and implicit costs and the difference between trade-offs and opportunity costs. Explicit costs is direct monetary payments, which includes tuition fees, rent, wages paid to workers. These are visible and measurable. Implicit costs are the value of the next best alternative you give up. This includes lost wages and using your own building instead of renting one out. Opportunity cost includes both explicit and implicit costs. And lastly, trade-offs versus opportunity costs. Trade-offs are all alternatives given up when making a choice. Choosing a university means that you'd give up income, work experience, and free time. So trade-offs are everything sacrificed. Opportunity cost is the next best alternative given up. So trade-offs are all foregone options, while opportunity costs are the most valuable foregone option.